Health is the most important thing in your life. Without it, everything else falls apart. Your relationships, your work, your objectives, nothing will be spared. I'm Edgar, I lost 100 pounds in the year, and now my goal is to help people improve their health. Today, I'll teach you my 6 most underrated hacks that help me improve my health. But before we start, please subscribe. It benefits both of us. I get visibility to help others improve their health, and you get the knowledge you need to improve yours. Let's go. First thing is screen time. My screen time has been the biggest bottleneck I had to improve my health. And I know that a lot of people cope with this. I know that here, maybe it's your case, people will think that it's not a big deal. They will even skip this part or leave this video. But it's not what you actually think. Screen time isn't inherently unhealthy. It's what you watch that's the problem. Personally, screen time has been a problem because it was a trigger to eat food, and especially unhealthy foods. Because, you know, on social media, you see a lot of people eating all kinds of different things, and it's very appetizing. It makes you hungry, and then it's quite hard to eat healthy because what they eat seems so delicious and so tasty that you don't want to stick to your diet anymore. So that would be a first reason why you should reduce your screen time, is that for most people, watching shorts or videos works as a trigger for them to do a bad habit. And the second one is laziness. Screen time allows you to cope. Being on your phone prevents you from being bored. So when you're lazy and you don't want to do something, maybe you don't want to go out on a run, maybe you don't want to go and do your workout, you will go on your phone and watch some videos, scroll, and let the time pass by. But if you weren't on your phone this much, you couldn't cope like you're currently doing. Because when you don't go out for your run, when you don't go to do your workout, you'd be alone with yourself and alone with the reality that you're avoiding things that are good for you, without any screens or distraction to run from yourself. And I really do think that ultimately you would work out more and you would miss less runs and be more consistent on the thing that you need to do. Second one is never drink sugary drinks again. Sugary drinks are really super bad for you. First reason why is that in liquid form, sugar goes super fast in your blood. You don't need to chew, and there is no real food to slow down the sugar before it enters your body. And that causes big spikes in insulin, which makes you tired, sluggish, and can cause some serious disease like type 2 diabetes. So you should really avoid all of the sugary drinks like sodas, industrial fruit juices, syrups, and just replace them by the zero alternative, like Coke Zero, Pepsi Max. There is even syrups with 0 calories and 0 sugars in it. So switch the sugar options with 0 calories option because it's way better for you. For now, the studies really have shown that there is a few to no risk of consuming Coke Zeros and things like that. So please stop slowing yourself down and make the smart choice. Third one is walking. Yes, I put walking in the underrated hacks because I feel like it's still vastly underrated for the benefits it has. When you walk, you're more creative, you have more energy, you burn calories, you exercise, it's great for longevity, like insanely great, great for your mood. Like, walking is really the best. In my opinion, everyone should do between 8 to 12,000 steps every day. If you're not doing it yet, focus on that in priority. It will really change your life. And I don't say that lightly. Walking is one of those habits that is super easy to do. Everyone can do it and it can change your life. Literally, like, it's life changing. Aim to get between 8 to 12,000 steps on a daily basis and you'll already have done a lot for your health. Fourth one is learn how to wake up without an alarm. And I already hear your objections. And I know that for this advice, most people in this video won't do it. Like, already there will be few action takers on this video and few people that will really implement these hacks. But for this one, I'm not sure if even one person will try and do it. But if you do, it can transform your sleep. Here's how. When you wake up without an alarm, you wake up at the end of a sleep cycle. That's the first thing. Your sleep is separated on a series of cycles where you go from deep sleep to light sleep to dreaming states and things like that. And different things happens in each of these types of sleeping. Like deep sleep, you recover. In one sleep, you make neuronal connection. Each sleep types has its own role. And when you wake up with an alarm, you will almost certainly wake up during one of these cycles. And that will interrupt it, which will cause you to be more tired and take more time to wake up, as if you would have woken up at the end of one of these cycles. So that's the first reason. You will have more energy and a better sleep quality overall because you will have finished your sleep cycle. And second reason is that alarms cause anxiety. And when I say anxiety, you don't necessarily feel super anxious when you hear your alarm. Maybe you just feel bored and you want to go back to sleep because you know that you need to go to work, but I know very few people that are truly anxious when they hear their alarm. But what happens in your body is that the sound of the alarm while you sleep is very, very stressful for you, whether you want it or not. Because imagine that for several hours, I don't know, maybe 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hours, you were asleep and there were no big noises, okay? You were just sleeping and recovering and making connections and everything was happening smoothly. But at one moment, your brain hears a big sound. Maybe it's a music that you put in your alarm, maybe it's a big beep, it doesn't matter, but it hears a big sound. So it wakes you up so you're ready to face the danger. That's what it does, because you react to the sound, because that's a protection mechanism. That's something your brain does to you in order to protect yourself from the danger. And that's really bad for your body because it creates stress, and of course it's not good for how happy you are, how recovered you feel, how energized you feel. So that's the second reason why you should wake up without an alarm. Now you will tell me, but I have things to do. I have work to do, I need to go to school. I can't just wake up whenever I want. And I completely agree. We'll all have obligations and we can't wake up at 10 a.m. just because we want to wake up without an alarm. But to that I'll answer you that I manage personally to get my wake up time from 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 without an alarm. Okay, so when I was in university and I needed to wake up to go to school, I was able to wake up at 5:30 every morning, 5 minutes give or take, without an alarm. And I did that in 2 steps. First one, I went to sleep earlier. You can't expect to wake up at 5 or 6 a.m. if you go to sleep at midnight or 11 p.m. It's not possible, at least not in the beginning. You need to go to sleep earlier. So first of all, look at when you need to wake up and then go back 8 hours. So maybe you need to wake up at 6 a.m. 8 hours earlier would be 10 p.m. That's the latest you could go to sleep. For the beginning, you need an 8-hour window minimum. Next, when you pick your time to go to sleep at night, you need to stick to it. Protect it as much as you can. Like go to sleep at the same time every night, because without that, your wake up time won't be the same every morning. And last step is set up a special alarm. So maybe to go to work at, let's say, 8 a.m., you need to wake up at 6. What you will do here is that if you need to wake up at 6, you'll go to sleep at 10 p.m., like we said, and you'll put an alarm at the latest time that you can wake up without being late. Like if you don't eat breakfast and you just prepare really quickly and you go to work. So maybe it will be, I don't know, 7 a.m. or 7:15, something like that. That's the 2 steps I applied in order to wake up earlier without an alarm. First, I went to sleep at 9:30 p.m. because I wanted to wake up at 5:30. And then I put an alarm at 7 a.m. because it was the latest time at which I could wake up without missing my bus. And yes, in the first 2 weeks, I needed this alarm a few times. And even in the beginning, I went to sleep at 9 a.m. because I couldn't wake up as early as I wanted while going to sleep at 9:30 at the start. But when I managed to wake up several times at 5:30 without an alarm, I went to sleep later. Like at the end, I went to sleep at like 10:30 p.m. to wake up at 5:30. And I always managed to wake up at 5:30. You just need in the beginning to be disciplined, and after you'll be able to be more flexible with your sleep time. I know that few people will do it, but believe me, if you try it out for 2 to 3 weeks, it will change how energized you feel in the morning so much you won't even believe it. Fifth one is environment. I feel like environment is one of the best things you can do to make health easy. When I talk about environment, I talk about the people that you're with, the food that's in your shelves, and things like that. Let's take the food example. If you try to eat healthier and you have a lot of snacks, unhealthy snacks like Snickers and things like that in your shelf, it will be harder for you to be healthy because every day you'll have the friction not to eat the Snickers bar, okay? And the vision you need to adopt is that you have a number of points you have every day in order to make choices. Maybe in the morning, you choose the clothes you put on, and that's a point. Then, for breakfast, you eat eggs and fruits instead of super sugary cereals you've got in your kitchen, and that's 5 points. And then maybe you go buy food instead of taking the bus, that's 10 points. And all of these point transactions happen during the day. And then when you got no points anymore, it becomes super hard, almost impossible to make the right choices. That's why, for example, when you go back home from school or from work, it's really hard to do the things you want to do. Maybe it's really hard to go and do a workout, or it's really hard to start the project you wanted to start. It's because you've got no point left. You used all of the points you had to make choices during the day, and now when you go back home, you got none anymore. So you just go in front of the TV, go to sleep, and wake up to do the same shit again. But if you optimize your environment, you've got only good foods in your fridge, you're surrounded with the right people, you prepare your days in advance, it will be way easier for you to make the right choices because you'll have less decisions to take, so less friction and more points to use to do what you want to do with your life. Last one is center your meal around protein. Here, maybe like walking, you'll tell me, but Edgar, protein is not an underrated thing. And honestly, I still think it is. Yes, the other nutrients are important. Yes, eating whole foods, eating clean is important, but I really think that protein is number one. I really think that it's even more important than what most people think. Protein helps you recover, first thing, which is really important, because if you recover well, you'll have more progress, you will be able to push harder, and you won't injure yourself, which is a super big deal, because the last thing anyone wants to do is to get injured. Second thing is that it keeps you full, which is great because who wants to be hungry? And if you want to lose weight also, it's a cheat code, like eat your proteins. Last one, it helps you build muscles, and muscles are so important for you. Like, they're not only here for aesthetics, they help for your metabolism, they help for your longevity, they help to prevent injury also. Muscles are super important for your health. You don't need to have a huge amount of it and be a big bodybuilder, but you need muscles, and without protein, it won't be possible to build them. So protein is super important for your health. So please, before thinking about eating only whole foods or things like that, get your protein right. Eat enough protein and center your meals around it. Really, like in the morning, if you're not sure about what to eat, say to yourself, what source of protein could I eat for this breakfast? And then build around it. For your main meal at noon, do the same. At night, do the same. Always think like that. It will change your body and it will improve your health drastically. It's the end of this video. Please check for the link of my newsletter in the description. It's advice and step-by-step guides on how to improve your health. If you enjoyed this video, you'll definitely enjoy my newsletter, so please go check that out. Subscribe to be notified for my next video. It really means the world to me. Subscribing tells me that this video has been useful, and that's all that I want. So if you want to support me and you enjoyed this video, the best thing you can do is to subscribe to this channel. You can check my previous video here. It's the 7 best purchases you can make for your health. So if you want to know where to spend your money, consider go checking that out. Thank you so much for staying until the end of this video. I really appreciate it. I'll see you next time. Stay healthy.